Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the journey that is broadcast on Cape Town TV as well as Channel 263 on DSTV. Another talented son of Cape Town that has enamored everyone in the country, not only in Cape Town, with his talents. We've had his brother twice on the show already, and we said earlier, today we complete that yin-yang puzzle of entertainment. To the live audience, your hands and mine for our guest on the journey today, Mr. Loukmaan Adams. Loukmaan, I love the shoes.
Yes.
It actually fits with your brother's decor. It does.
He got the idea from my shoes.
Clearly.
Yes.
Clearly. Loukmaan, it's an honor to have you on the show. It's something that I spoke to Emo about a while back already.
Mm-hmm.
The first time when I interviewed Emo on the journey, I asked him about his time that he spent with you over the years as entertainers. Mm-hmm. So not only were you siblings, naturally, colleagues as well, okay, sharing the same stage, but he talks about my brother Loukmaan having that capacity, you know, to go into character so deeply. I wonder at times if he's going to come out of it. So that's got to be natural or something that you've perhaps equipped yourself with over the years.
I think he always realized that I'm the sexier brother, firstly. So that took a lot of pressure off. But I think where we differ, I love theatre. I grew up with theatre. I started doing theatre since I was 9, and that's what the show is about.
Yes.
I'm just not jumping, but the show's about that. How I like playing different characters and taking people on a journey. I had Mr. Zane Adams there, but when I auditioned, because I needed 2 kids to play me in the show, and I couldn't think of anyone else then Mr. Zane Adams there. And he was tough. He was like, what's that guy's name? Simon Cowell.
Yes,
like,
yes.
He was like, the kids were 9 and 10, and he was there. It's like, no, my boy, no. You can't sing, my boy, no. Go home, no. and it was, but where my brother again, he is just a ball of energy. I look at him and I think, you must be so tired when he goes home at night, because he's just, and I think, oh, I can't do that. But I think that's where we differ. But what I like about the two of us, we understand each other. We can look at each other and know exactly what we need to do without even saying anything, and that just. That comes from working together and maybe just being siblings and understanding the stage.
Okay, I would classify it as 2 brothers, the yin-yang of entertainment in South Africa, because you guys are so different, yet you complement one another. 30 years, my goodness. Emo spoke of over 20 years on his side. 30 years, you know, in a couple of minutes during the course of the interview, for me to ask you to share with the live audience and the viewers at home, it will fail us to ask you to take us through that journey, ups and downs, experiences. What has 30 years been like for you?
I actually didn't know it was 30 years. It's just when we started with the show, then I sort of realized, wow, I am getting old. But it's been amazing. I think there were really high highs and really low lows, I guess. But and I think the industry today, and if I look at former idols to me, like the Zanes and the late great Talibs, it's just things are very different now. Like we've got Cape Town has talent, and it's more rushed, not rushed, but there's sort of like a shorter journey.
Yes.
We had to tour. We had to go from city to city. Our audiences sort of grew with us. So we started at the Luxurama, and then the Joseph Stone, and then the City Hall. And nowadays you have venues like this, and everything is just intact. I mean, I remember playing at the Luxurama, and it's raining, and the rain fall op your kop, and the audiences are there, and they've got pak warme chips and samosas, and you can't do that here. But that was all part of my journey. That's the way that's how we did stuff. Now things are all fancy at the Baxter Theatre, and you go buy your ticket at CompuTicket, and so digitalized. And that's what's different. And sometimes I miss those times. I kind of go, because it was, I wouldn't say competitive, but it was a good sort of competitive. All these groups that was their limited edition, Protege, The Boys. Man, there was a lot. And if a song came out, Boys to Men maybe sang a song, and Limited sang it first. Then it's like, oh, it's my song. You can't sing that song. And I think, what? It's not, you didn't even write the song, but it was that sort of good energy and good vibes.
I asked Emo the same question. I'm going to ask you the same question. I want to see how very different the responses would be, because that ultimately would mean yin and yang for me, and I'm sure for everyone else. I asked Emo, how would he want himself to be classified? As a comedian, as a dancer? Because he's got some moves on stage that, you know, clearly you're not going to find really anywhere. It's very unique, a lot of what he does. As an actor, or all-encompassing. How would you want to be classified? Or do you feel you don't want to be boxed in any way?
I don't want to be classified as anything. I think in this industry you need to do about everything. And I call it my tools. I think sometimes you're going to need to sing. Sometimes you need to dance. Sometimes you need to do a voiceover. Sometimes you need to tap or rip your shirt off or whatever this guy does. But you can't, it would be unfair to box yourself. I wouldn't like to box myself. I think when you start, you do it for the niceness of it, the fame and all of that and the recognition. But afterwards you realize, if you do this long enough, you realize that it's your work now. I mean, you, like everyone else, has a 9-to-5 job. As much fun as you try and give or share, it becomes your job. So if you are required... The other day I was auditioned for a voiceover to do like 50 Indian movies. But people are never going to know that's me. But it's different. I don't want to try and restrict myself to just one thing. So that's how I feel about that.
Winners Supermarket and Cash and Carry, Melkbos Street, Lentegeur, Mitchell's Plain, the store that gives and saves you more. 25 aisles of affordable goods, 5 special departments, every household and business catered for. Winners Supermarket and Cash and Carry, Melkbos Street, Lentegeur, Mitchell's Plain, the store that gives and saves you more. You're watching The Journey that is broadcast on Cape Town TV as well as Channel 263 on DSTV with me, MJ Lee. We're at the All-Star Theatre, the home of the Minister of Entertainment, Mr. Emo Adams. You can feel his ambience somewhere here. That presence, it's here. It's always here. We're chatting to the multi-talented Loukmaan Adams. We're completing the puzzle today. A few months ago, we chatted to Emo, and now we have his brother, the older brother, who's always been the guide, giving advice, because that's what he says it was always about. You were always there, you know. Emo no, Emo this, Emo that. Was it really like that?
Like I said, I started when I was 9, so he could have been 6 when I started. So, yeah, I guess I was always there, but we were always different. Even when we started in Malay choirs, I would sing the solo songs. He would do the comic stuff and very energetic. That. I'm like, just calm down. But I think he waited behind the curtain for so long. So when his time came, he was prepared. He just went. He just went for it. I mean, there was a time where we didn't see each other for about 6 years because we were just going and coming back, and he was on doing cruises. I was in London, New York, and then I think I came back from New York, and he was in Malaysia, and they had some troubles with the group, and I just flew there because obviously he said, "Hey, we needed help," and I'm like, "Yeah, sure, I'll come over." But that's, and I think he was about 14. And then I saw him when he was 21, so we missed that gap. But we could still work well together. So yeah, that's that.
I think if we touch on My Wonder Years, okay, that we'll be playing at the Baxter. We look forward to the show. Actually,
I opened last night though.
Okay. So we look forward to it when we get our opportunity in the week coming. Take us through this show, the sketch, the concept, the script, the idea, because it's been a 30-year journey for you. And if there are any youngsters, not only in the live audience, but will be watching this and are watching it at home, what advice would you give them if they want to take up a career as an entertainer? What would be that single most aspect that you can say to them, focus on this, because this is what I've experienced. And it's not all just going to come overnight.
First, is, like I said, it's very different now. I look at, we were doing the auditions for Cutting the Kings, for example, and I didn't know the effect Cutting Kings had on a lot of people. I mean, they knew the words to each dialogue or song or whatever, so they came in prepared. But what was mind-blowing was the cats who came in, they could play guitar, they could play drums, they could read music, they could dance. You could ask them anything, and they're like, yep, we can do that. So for the youth out there, I don't think just singing is good enough, because you'd eventually want to evolve. You want to kind of start producing your own stuff, writing your own music, doing your own choreographies. And like I said, I call it tools. So anyone can ask you anything, and even if you can't do it, you say, yes, I can. And just push yourself to push the boundaries. On my show, it was an idea that I had. I was always scared to do a one-man show, because I enjoy having other bodies around me. If it's Imo, or if it's Jody Abrams or Alistair. But I thought it's time to just kind of tell my story. And it's not about, oh, I've won this, or I won that, or I did that. It was more about how it affected me. I was 9. I traveled the world. I had a different mindset I knew, for a silly example, I knew about what was happening in this country while I was I saw what was happening in this country while I was in London, watching a BBC channel, and I saw the riots, and I was like, what is this happening back home? So, and I was with people that was 35 years old and 45. So at 11, I came back. Speaking to my chummies, and then my chummies want to know, are we going to lust for a Gatsby? I'm like, listen, we need to think of life policies, and we need to think of buying a house. And so my mindset was completely different, and I soon found out that I don't sit well coming home. My girlfriend at the time said, no, man, you're talking Understand now. You're like trying to be posh. And because I was like, oh, bollocks, whatever. And they're like, what is bollocks? Bollocks is crap. I'm like, yes, crap is bollocks. But I was like, all like, rah, 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 and yeah, and room, I'm telling my mom, listen, room service, ringing a clockie. So that was, and to me, that was normal. And my mom had to sit me down and say, hey, wake up. It's not that, but that's my life. Not my life, but I mean, I was used to that. And sometimes it's and that's the question I have in the show. Sometimes it's maybe better just to enjoy your wonder years and have just a normal life, and enjoy those finer moments like Ninja Turtles and MacGyver and just and 3 blikkies in die pad. Because this industry, it looks all glitz and glamour, but it comes at a price. You actually become a product. You'll be sitting in a restaurant, having a meal with your family that you haven't seen in a while, and then someone will come up and they want to take a picture. And I know it's probably the 30th time that I've taken the picture, but it's their first time. And so how do you say that to that someone? Listen, I'm just having this atapal here that I just want to enjoy. But they don't. It's not a thing. So you become a product, and that is part of the game. So if that's what you want, then you're in the right business. But if you can't handle that, then become a plumber.
Alternative. Loukmaan, thanks so much for taking time out to chat to us on the show, on the journey. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
To the live audience, round of applause to Loukmaan Adams. We've completed the puzzle. So you're watching The Journey on Cape Town TV, channel 263 on DSTV. Let's visit our sponsors, Venus Supermarket and Cash and Carry, Portland's Meat Hyper, and Delhi, Taz Boutique and Soundtech in N1 City. And the promenade, the show concludes on the other side of this.
stage en sê assalamu alaikum vir julle en almal van julle wat gekom het. 'n Spesiale dankie vir Boeta Fuad van Square Masit wat 400 tickets gevat het. Boeta Fuad, my vrou was nog net hier by my en sy sê jy het net vir 150 tickets se geld gebetaal. Nou wat ek nie verstaan nie is dat daar 600 mense in die hol is vanaand. Wat ons doen is Loukmaan en die Maraan sal agter by die deur staan met 'n box. And all donations are welcome. Shukran, alhamdulillah, shukran. Ek wil gou 'n song sing. Loukmaan en Imo gaan 'n song sing. Maar ek wil gou net 'n song sing net om julle op te warm. Dis die beat. Dis die beat, dis die beat. Dis dit. Hit dat doen. Dan doe hit. Dit doe. Dis my choreography. Ik wil jullie met samen zingen ook in de lap. Ik wil jullie moet zeggen. Yum, yum. Yum, yum. Yum, yum, yum. Yum, 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 yum. And sweeter than honey can be. Oh, what is a yum, yum. Oh, my baby, baby. This little girl of mine. She's a yum, yum. Oh, one sweet kiss on the lips. Where that she come from? This little girl of mine, she's a young.
That was my father before, but my father's older now, so he goes.
But see, baby, see what it say. Would you walk? She really knocked me out when she told. One sweet kiss on that. Where that she come from? Oh, give me the love. Just let her go of mine. She's a young. Give me more. Just let her go. Just let her go. She's a just let her go. Just let her go. She's a young.
Your favorite show, The Journey, broadcast on Cape Town TV as well as Channel 263 on DSTV. Sponsored by Winners Supermarket and Cash and Carry, Portland's Meat Hyper and Delhi Taz Boutique, as well as Soundtech in N1 City and The Promenade. Come down to Winners Supermarket and Cash and Carry for these fantastic specials. Competition time on The Journey, sponsored by Winners Supermarket and Cash and Carry. Have a look at the logo of Winners Supermarket and Cash and Carry. We're asking the question, how many colors make up that logo? An opportunity to win one of 5 100 Rand grocery vouchers, courtesy of Winners Supermarket and Cash and Carry. That question, how many colors make up the logo of Winners Supermarket and Cash and Carry? SMS your name, surname, your area you are from, as well as the answer to 084-217-5759. How many colors make up the logo of Winners Supermarket and Cash and Carry? SMS that answer, as well as your name, surname, and your details, where you're from, to 084-217-5759. We'll be in touch with the winners shortly.
Hi, my name is Loukmaan Adams, and you're watching The Journey with MJ Lee.
You're currently watching The Journey that is broadcast on Cape Town TV with me, MJ Lee. It's time to go to some music. Once again, it's Mahir Zain for the rest of my life. Those ladies, come closer. You're going to enjoy.
Praise Allah for sending me you, my love. You found your home, it's here with me, and I'm here with you.
now let me let you know. You've opened my heart. I was always thinking that love was wrong, but everything was changed when you came along. Oh, and there's a couple words I wanna say. For the rest of my life, I'll be with you. I'll stay by your side, honest and true, to the end of my time. I'll be loving you for the rest of my life. Through days and nights, I'll thank Allah for opening my eyes. Now and forever, I'll be there for you. I know it deep in my heart. I feel so blessed when I think of you, and I ask Allah to bless all we do. You're my wife and my friend and my strength, and I pray we're together in Jannah. Oh, now I found myself, I feel so strong. Yes, everything was changed when you came along. Oh, and there's a couple words I wanna say. For the rest of my life, I'll be with you. I'll stay by your side, honest and true, to the end of my time. I'll be loving you for the rest of my life. Through days and nights, I'll thank Allah for opening my eyes. Now and forever, I'll be there for you. I know it deep in my heart. And now that you're here in front of me, I strongly feel love. And I have no doubt, and I sing it loud, that I will love you eternally. For the rest of my life, I'll be with you. I'll stay by your side, honest and true, to the end of my time. I'll be loving you for the rest of my life. Through days and nights, I'll thank Allah for opening my eyes. Now and forever, I'll be there for you. I know it deep in my heart.
Your favorite show, The Journey, broadcast on Cape Town TV as well as Channel 263 on DSTV. Sponsored by Winners Supermarket and Cash and Carry, Portland's Meat Hyper and Delhi Taz Boutique, as well as Soundtech in N1 City and The Promenade. Come down to Winners Supermarket and Cash and Carry for these fantastic specials. Competition time on The Journey, sponsored by Winners Supermarket and Cash and Carry. Have a look at the logo of Winners Supermarket and Cash and Carry. We're asking the question, how many colors make up that logo? An opportunity to win one of 5 100 Rand grocery vouchers, courtesy of Winners Supermarket and Cash and Carry. That question, how many colors make up the logo of Winners Supermarket and Cash and Carry? SMS your name, surname, your area you are from, as well as the answer to 0842175759. How many colors make up the logo of Winners Supermarket and Cash and Carry? SMS that answer, as well as your name, surname, and your details, where you're from, to 0842175759. We'll be in touch with the winners shortly.
We do hope that you enjoyed this episode of The Journey. And remember, we would love the viewers to become part of the show. SMS us your comments, post a comment on our Facebook page, tweet us, and check out our website. From myself, Zainab Shafika, have a lovely weekend. Take care.
I'm so sorry. If only I had just one last chance. I'm so sorry. But now it's too late to explain. I only live for today and never really thought about anyone else. It was all about me, myself, and I. Never did I ever stop for a moment to think of what's staring at me. I've been